Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urges Sri Lanka to invest more in Bangladesh's special economic zones. High Court upholds death sentence of 10 militants in a case lodged over attempt to murder Sheikh Hasina in Kotalipara. High Court directs BTRC to remove controversial Al Jazeera report from all online platforms. Government provides financial incentives of 569 crore taka to about 5 lakh corona-affected farmers. BNP is showing extraordinary skill in creating propaganda and rumours against the government and constitutional bodies, comments Obaidul Qadir. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged Sri Lanka to come up with more investments in the special economic zones in Bangladesh. She made this call when newly appointed Sri Lankan High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Sudarshan Dipal Suresh Senaviratne, paid a courtesy call on her at her official residence Ganobhavan this morning. Prime Minister's Deputy Press Secretary Hassan Zahid Tushar briefed newsmen after the call-on. Sheikh Hasina said Bangladesh has been developing 100 special economic zones across the country, and the Sri Lankan entrepreneurs can invest here, availing themselves of the existing favourable policies for foreigners. The Sri Lankan envoy said his country is keen to work and invest in shipping, hospital, tourism, education and cultural sectors, alongside collaborating in the aviation sector and training up nurses in Bangladesh. Lauding the leadership of the Prime Minister, he said Bangladesh has achieved tremendous success due to her visionary leadership in the last few years. Congratulating Saima Wazir Hussain for being WHO's champion for autism in the Southeast Asia region, the High Commissioner said her work in the field of autism is praiseworthy. Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office Muhammad Tufazil Hussain Mia and Military Secretary to the Prime Minister Major General Naqib Ahmed Chaudhry were present. Egypt would continue its support to repatriate the forcibly displaced Rohingya people to their homeland, Myanmar. The newly appointed Egyptian ambassador to Dhaka, Haitham Gobeshi, said these when he paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her official residence, Ganobhavan. The Egyptian envoy highly praised the country's socio-economic development under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The Prime Minister said the government is trying to implement the dream of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, following the paths of his development plan. The envoy mentioned Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina as the exemplary leader of Muslim Ummah. He said, though the bilateral relations of the two countries are based on trade and commerce, there are still few fields of mutual cooperation to strengthen the existing relation further. The ambassador said Egypt wants to establish collaboration with Bangladesh in fighting international terrorism. The Prime Minister also told him that the government has a policy of zero tolerance against all forms of terrorism. Later, High Commissioner of the Maldives to Bangladesh, Shirozimat Samir, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. During the meeting, the Prime Minister said sea cruise services can be introduced between Bangladesh and the Maldives during the winter season. Prime Minister's Deputy Press Secretary Hassan Zahid Tushar briefed the media after the meeting. The Prime Minister also stressed the need for exchanging experience and assistance between the two friendly countries in collecting fisheries in the deep sea. The High Commissioner said his country is going to start vaccination of the Bangladeshi laborers working in Maldives, as they have been playing a significant role in the socio-economic advancement of the country. Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office Muhammad Tufazil Hussain Mia and Military Secretary Major General Naqib Ahmed Chaudhry were present. The High Court today upheld a verdict of the lower court that sentenced death penalty to 10 persons in a case lodged over an attempt to murder Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina by planting a 76-kilogram bomb at Kotalipara in Gopalganj in 2000. The High Court bench of Justice Jahangir Hussain Salim and Justice Muhammad Badruzzaman delivered the verdict after hearing death reference on appeals filed by the convicts. The 10 convicts are Wasim Akhtar alias Tariq alias Marfot Ali, Rashid Diver alias Abul Kalam alias Rashidul Zaman alias Shimon Khan, Yusuf alias Musahab Morol alias Abu Musa Harun, Sheikh Farid alias Maulana alias Usman, Hafiz Jahangir Alam Badur, Maulana Abu Bakr alias Hafiz Salim Hauladar, Hafiz Maulana Ihya, Mufti Shafiqur Rahman, Mufti Abdul Hai, and Maulana Abdul Rob alias Mufti Abdul Rob alias Abdul Razak alias Abu Omar. All of them are leaders and activists of banned militant outfit Harkatul Jihad al-Islami. Dhaka's second speedy trial tribunal on August 20, 2017 sentenced 10 persons to death in the case, as Judge Mumtaz in her order had said the convicts can be executed either by hanging or by shooting with permission from the High Court. The lower court had examined 68 witnesses out of the total 83. According to the case documents, army men recovered a 76 kg powerful bomb on July 22, 2000 from the premises of Sheikh Lutfur Rahman Government Ideal College when a podium was being made for Prime Minister's rally. Another powerful bomb was recovered in the area the very next day. Then Kotalipara Police Station Sub-Inspector Nur Hussain filed a case in this regard on that day. CID Assistant Superintendent of Police Munshi Atikur Rahman on April 8, 2001 filed a charge sheet against Harkatul Jihad al-Islami Chief Mufti Abdul Hannan and others. Later the case was transferred to the Dhaka court. Mufti Hannan has already been executed on April 12, 2017 for 2004 grenade attack at Hazrat Shah Jalal Raziallahu Anhu Shrine in Sylhet. His name was dropped from Prime Minister murder attempt case. The High Court ordered Bangladesh Telecommunication Regulatory Commission BTRC to remove a report titled "All the Prime Minister's Men of Al Jazeera," a Qatar-based news channel, from all the online platforms in the country. A High Court Division virtual bench of Justice Muhammad Mujibur Rahman Mia and Justice Muhammad Kamrul Hussain Mullah passed the order today after holding hearing on a writ petition filed in this regard. The court disposed of the matter. Earlier on February 15, the court heard legal opinions of 6 amici curiae, friends of court, on the matter. The government has given incentive of 568 crore 86 lakh taka to about 5 lakh farmers in the coronavirus-affected fisheries and livestock sector. This incentive was handed over as the gift of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Osmani Sriti Milonayaton today. Agriculture Minister Dr. Abdul Razak was the chief guest, while Fisheries and Livestock Minister Asim Rizaul Karim presided over the program. Planning Minister M.A. Mannan and Fisheries and Livestock Ministry Secretary Raunak Mahmood were present at the time. Fisheries and Livestock Minister Asim Rizaul Karim said 2 lakh affected farmers will get incentives in the next 2 phases. Awami League General Secretary Ubaidul Qadir has said the BNP has been resorting to propaganda and rumours efficiently against the government and constitutional institutions. He was briefing journalists at his official residence today. Replying to allegations of BNP leaders that the Election Commission is working as a tool of the government, Ubaidul Qadir has said the Awami League is not dependent on anybody to run the government other than the people of the country. The Awami League General Secretary said it makes him surprised when the BNP speaks about the people's voting rights, electoral system and election commission. It was the BNP which made all records of voter lists and one-sided polls in the history of the country, he added.
BNP যখন জনগণের ভোটের অধিকার, নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থা ও নির্বাচন কমিশন নিয়ে কথা বলে তখন আমাদের হাসি পায়। স্মৃতিতে ভাসে তাদের সময়ে সৃষ্ট রেকর্ডের কথা। এদেশের ইতিহাসে ভোটারবিহীন এবং একতরফা নির্বাচনের রেকর্ড গড়েছিল বিএনপি। দেশে নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থার সবচেয়ে আজ্ঞাবহ বিতর্কিত নির্বাচন কমিশন বিএনপির আমলের আজিজ কমিশন। 1,23,00,000 ভুয়া ভোটার করে একটি প্রহসনের নির্বাচনের অনুষ্ঠানের প্রস্তুতি নিচ্ছিল আজিজের নেতৃত্বে নির্বাচন কমিশন। বিএনপি নেতারা বলছেন ইসি নাকি সরকারের হাতিয়ার। আসলে সরকার এবং সাংবিধানিক প্রতিষ্ঠানের বিরুদ্ধে অপপ্রচার ও গুজব সৃষ্টিতে বিএনপি নিপুণ দক্ষতার পরিচয় দিচ্ছে। শেখ হাসিনার সরকার ও আওয়ামী লীগের শেকড় এদেশের মাটির অনেক গভীরে। আওয়ামী লীগ সরকার পরিচালনা কারো উপর নির্ভরশীল নয়। শেখ হাসিনার সরকারের একমাত্র হাতিয়ার বাংলাদেশের জনগণ। ক্ষমতার জন্য জনবিচ্ছিন্ন হয়ে বিএনপি দেশে বিদেশে ধর্ণা দিচ্ছে, নালিশ করে যাচ্ছে, যা তাদের রাজনৈতিক দেউলিয়াত্ব।
Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has
আমাকে প্রতিদিন ইনসুলিন নিতে হয় সকালবেলা। ইনসুলিন নেওয়ার সময় কিছুটা অনুভব হয় যে আমি ইনসুলিনের ইনজেকশন নিচ্ছি। আজকে টিকা নেওয়ার সময় সেটিও অনুভূত হয়নি। বিএনপি যে সমস্ত নেতারা টিকা নিয়ে অপপ্রচার চালিয়েছিলেন, এতে এটিই প্রমাণিত হয় তারা সবসময় দেশের মধ্যে গুজব রটান।
in Bangladesh at the end of this month or first week of March. He said these while briefing to journalists at Bangladesh Secretariat Clinic today. Meanwhile, the coronavirus vaccination continued in the capital amid much enthusiasm. People from different walks of life thronged to different vaccination centers since morning for taking shots. They breathed a sigh of relief after taking the jab and call others to receive shots in order to free the country from the deadly virus. Doctors said as corona vaccine is safe for human body and it has no side effect, people get confidence to get vaccinated. They urge the people to maintain health guidelines after taking vaccine and wear mask. Voting in 323 union parishads under 20 districts across the country will be held on April 11 next in the first phase. This was decided at a meeting of the Election Commission held its office in the capital today with Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda in the chair. Election Commission Secretary Humayun Kobir Khondokar disclosed these to the journalists following the EC meeting. He said voting in about 4,500 union parishads across the country will be held in several phases. The EC Secretary said schedule of the first phase election in 323 union parishads will be announced at the first week of March next. 16 COVID-19 patients died in the country in last 24 hours, taking the death toll from the pandemic to 8,314. The recovery count rose to 4,89,254 after another 633 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services confirmed it today. The tally of the infections rose to 5,41,877 with 443 new cases. A winter storm in the U.S. has brought deadly freezing winds, ice and snow to many regions that rarely see such frigid conditions. At least 21 deaths have been blamed on the widespread storm. Deaths have been reported in Tennessee, Texas, Kentucky and Louisiana. In North Carolina, a tornado spawned by the same storm left 3 dead and 10 injured early on Tuesday morning. Officials there said rescues are ongoing. In Texas, a surge in demand for electricity has led to widespread power cuts. The state is bracing for another icy storm later on Tuesday. The George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston and the city's Hobby Airport were both closed until at least Tuesday afternoon. The National Weather Service said more than 150 million Americans were now under winter's storm warnings. President Joe Biden has approved a state of emergency in Texas, which has seen some of its coldest temperatures in more than 30 years. Myanmar's detained leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been handed a second criminal charge on the day she appeared in court via video link. Ms. Suu Kyi, who was earlier charged with possessing illegal walkie-talkies, is now also alleged to have violated the country's natural disaster law. It is not clear what the new charge issued on Tuesday relates to. Myanmar's military earlier repeated its promise to hold fresh elections and relinquish power as protests continue. Anti-coup demonstrators are demanding the release of their elected leaders, including Ms. Suu Kyi, following the military coup on 1st of February. COVID-19 global death toll crosses 24,32,000 as more than 9,777 people died yesterday globally. More than 11 crore 1,33,000 have been infected globally, and more than 8 crore 49,58,000 people have recovered so far. The US, the current epicenter of the pandemic, has now 2 crore 83,82,000 confirmed cases and 5 lakh deaths. Now news on sports. Kylian Mbappe scored a stunning hat-trick as Paris Saint-Germain PSG beat Barcelona by 4-1 in the first leg of the Champions League last 16 match at the Nou Camp last night. Moise Kean scored the other one for the PSG. Lionel Messi scored the lone goal for Barcelona by penalty. Meanwhile, Liverpool defeated RB Leipzig by 2-0 in the other match of last 16 round first leg in the Champions League football. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane scored 1 goal each for Liverpool. To end the bulletin headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urges Sri Lanka to invest more in Bangladesh's special economic zones. High Court upholds death sentence of 10 militants in a case lodged over attempt to murder Sheikh Hasina in Kotalipara. High Court directs BTRC to remove controversial Al Jazeera report from all online platforms. Government provides financial incentives of 569 crore taka to about 5 lakh corona-affected farmers. BNP showing extraordinary skill in creating propaganda and rumors against the government and constitutional bodies, comments Subaidul Qadir. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood calls on BNP leaders to take corona vaccine, shunning their shyness. At least 21 died as ferocious snowstorms swept southern United States. Rescue operations continue. And in Champions League football, PSG beat Barcelona by 4-1 goals. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 p.m. Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.